Good morning, everyone. It is really good to see you again this week. So we're starting our second week of virtual preschool after our 2-week break, winter break. So let's figure out what day it is. So we have all of our days of the week here. And the last day of school we had was, do you remember? Friday. Then we had Saturday, Sunday. So today is Monday. Yes, so I'm going to move our little rainbow arrow up to Monday. There it is. All right, and let's see who remembers what month it is? Remember we have it's not even a new month anymore because this is the second week of the month, right? Who remembers what it's called? January, yes. So let's go ahead and count those numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and what comes next? Yes, 9. So let's figure out the picture. All right, so we have snow person, hat, mitten. Snow person, hat. What comes next? Mitten. Yes, so we have a number 9 with a mitten. So let's put that next. So we need to keep going because that was Saturday. 7, 8, 9. What comes next? Yes, 10. So let's figure out the picture. Snow person, hat, mitten. What comes next? Snow person. Yes. So we have a number 10 with a snow person. Put that right in there. And we need to do one more for Monday. All right. So 8, 9, 10. What number comes next? 11. All right. So let's figure out the pattern. Snow person, hat, mitten. Snow person. What comes next? Hat. Yes, so we have a number 11. Whoopsie, I pulled out two numbers at the same time. A number 11 with a hat on it. So we'll stick that right in there. Okay, so today is Monday, January 11th. And remember, it's our new year also. The year is 2021 now, or 2021. All right, so we are going to be continuing on talking about winter. And this week we're going to be talking a lot about snow and snowflakes. All right, so I have a book that was written by another teacher. So it's not the kind of book that you could find at the library or a bookstore. This was a book that another teacher wrote, and you can get it. I was able to get it online in a whole packet of things this teacher made all about snow. All right, so it's a little different looking than most books. So let's look in our. I need to put it this way. Our mystery envelope. And we have to pull it out this way to see what it is. So this book is called All About Ice and Snow. And you can see it has a bunch of snowflakes on the front, doesn't it? And see on the top here, we have these little metal rings. And these are just regular pieces of paper that I printed and laminated. So it's just a little bit different kind of book. All right, so it talks all about ice and snow. So let's find out about ice and snow. It's a little hard to hold up there. It's snowing. I see the snow falling down from the clouds. There's quite the glare on it, isn't there? Because it's laminated. Every snowflake is different and unique, just like me. And then there's another little box with some information. It says, all snowflakes have 6 sides and are the shape of a hexagon. So let's see here. I'm going to show you the pictures. Let's count some of those sides on those snowflakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that one does have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So do these look like snowflakes that you see falling down by your house? They don't really, do they? But if you caught a snowflake and looked at it under a microscope, this is what you would see. You would see these very elaborate designs. Isn't that neat? This snow is wet and perfect for making snowmen. And this little box says, wet snow has more water in it. Sometimes snow is dry like powder, and the wind blows it all around. The little box here says, dry snow has more ice in it. We know ice is frozen water, right? So more of the snow is frozen than in wet snow, sticky snow. I see the pond is frozen solid and has turned into ice. And then the little box says, never walk on ice. Some ice is thin and it can break when you walk on it. Look at the icicles in the tree. The snow is starting to melt. You can see the drip coming down there, and the little box says, icicles form when snow melts and refreezes. So sometimes we see icicles hanging off of the roof. And if you see icicles hanging off of things like a roof or a car or things like that, you don't want to eat those icicles. All right? Generally, you don't want to eat icicles because they're coming off of things that may have a lot of dirt, like not even dirt, but chemicals or things that might not be good for you. Ice and snow make playing fun. What do you like to do in the snow? I bet you can think of a lot of fun things to do in the snow. See, these people, it looks like they're snowshoeing. All right, and that is the end. So, we have some new work this week. We have finally our January calendar. Remember I told you before that I couldn't send your January calendar home for the first week of January because it wasn't ready for me to print yet. Remember, somebody else makes that January calendar, so I have to wait for that person to put it online so I can print it. So for this activity, you're going to be using some toilet paper tubes. So grab some toilet paper tubes from your recycling. Hopefully you have some. If not, you can wait and gather a couple when you can. And you're going to you can do this, or your mom or dad can do this. You're going to need to cut with some scissors some slits into the snowflake. You see, I've already done that, and I can bend them up like this. So I already made these cuts in the toilet paper tube. All right, see that? These are going to end up being painting snowflakes. And I did this one a little differently. You can cut them in many different ways. This one didn't end up the greatest in that one spot, but that's okay. All right, so there's a different one. And then this one, I did a whole bunch of thin cuts. All right, so these are going to make little snowflake prints on your calendar for this month. So I'm going to kind of move this stuff out of the way for a minute. So you'll need your toilet paper tubes that have been cut, and you will need some white paint. So I've got some in a bowl, and you're going to want to put it in something that has a nice big flat bottom, like a bowl or a plate, a paper plate, something like that. All right, so then you have your new January calendar. And we remember that we always need to write our name, Miss Mika, or trace it. And if you are 4 or 5, my rule at school is that you need to trace all the numbers. So I am not 4 or 5. I am older than 4 or 5. So I am only going to trace some of them. All right, so trace your numbers. And then you're going to work on the art for this project, okay? So, you know what, I think actually, no, I'm just gonna go ahead. So just try to make sure you don't do any snowflake painting down on the bottom, or you'll have to wait for it to dry to glue your calendar on. That's fine too. So I'm gonna get out my paint. I put it in a baggie because I got it ready yesterday. I didn't want it to dry out, so I put it in a little baggie. And then you're going to take these, I didn't think about where I was going to put these. I guess I'm going to set them on there when I'm done. These toilet paper snowflake printers, and you're going to kind of put them in the ink or in the paint like that. Might want to drip them off a little bit. You don't want to have too much. That one didn't get quite enough. You don't want to have too much paint on it. All right, and then you're going to make a snowflake print just like that. Might want to wiggle it around a little bit. See mine right there? Okay, and you can use, I'm just going to use one for right now, because otherwise I'm going to end up having to find somewhere to stick these. And it's going to make a big mess. And you can make as many snowflakes on your paper as you want. I'm just going to stop right there, okay? But the more different kinds of snowflake toilet paper tube things that you make, the cooler it will look. So make some different ones so you can have different looking snowflakes. All right? All right, so then you may want to wait till your paint dries for this, but after it dries, you can take your glue and put the glue on the corners of the calendar like we usually do. And then you can stick it on there like that. And then you have your January calendar. All right? So that is one of our activities this week. Another thing that you have in your packet is this snowflake. Now this snowflake, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That has 8 sides or 8 points to it. So it's not really a very accurate snowflake. But this is just for practicing lacing or sewing. So you have a yellow piece of yarn. On the end is a little piece of tape. Don't take that tape off. That tape is to help hold the yarn end together so it's easier to thread, okay? It's kind of like your little needle, all right? So there's a couple different ways you can thread, right? You can go in the top, and then you're gonna make sure to pull your yarn you don't wanna, see this down here? I call this a tail. You don't wanna have a yarn tail. You wanna pull your yarn all the way through so there's no yarn tail, okay? And then I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna go on the top. Pull my yarn all the way through so there's no more yarn tail. All right, get in the top. Pull it all the way through so there's no yarn tail. Pull it all the way through. And I'm going to keep going until I get all the way to the end. And if you want to have your mom or dad show you how to do this before you do it again, that is fine. And it might take some practice if you've never done lacing before. All right, pull that yarn tail all the way through back to the original hole. All right, and then I finish it up. And if you want to be able to do it again, you can just take it apart. All right, now you're gonna wanna be gentle with this. This is a little bit thicker paper called cardstock, but if you pull too hard on the yarn, you will rip it. Okay, and once you rip it, it's not going to work as well anymore. So do be careful with it. All right, so there's another activity you can do this week. Then we also have snowflake matching. Now these are cool. You have in your packet these 2 papers that have all different kinds of snowflakes on them, but they're all 6-sided, just like they're supposed to be, right? But each one looks different. Just like if you were to take a snowflake from outside and look at it under a microscope, every snowflake you saw would be different, okay? So you're gonna kind of spread these out, and you have, I'm gonna put them like this, I guess. You have also in your packet all the little cutout snowflakes. You're gonna match these to the ones on these papers, okay? Now, if you want to be able to do this activity more than one time, you're not going to glue the papers down. You're not gonna glue these little snowflakes down to their matches, all right? But if you wanna just do it once, you can use a glue stick and glue them down, okay? So I'm gonna do that right now. So I'm gonna look at my first snowflake, and I'm going to find the match on my papers. I'm going to kind of take it like this and put it next to each of the snowflakes until I find the one that it matches. Oh, there it is. And I'll show you in just a minute. I'm going to put some glue on the back of it. This glue's a little dried out. I think it'll still work. And I'm going to stick it down next to that one. And you see we now have a match. All right, I'm going to do one more for you and I'll let you do the rest of them yourself. All right, so here's another one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it along and see if it matches, which one it matches. Oh, here is the one that it matches right here. So I am going to put some glue on the back of that one. And stick it right down there. All right, so there you go. See, there's a match right there. So then you will go through and you will find the matches for all of these snowflakes. All right? And either glue them down if you only want to do the activity once, or you can not glue them down so you can do it more than once. All right, so it's up to you. There you go. All right, so that is what I have to show you today. I hope you have a great day. I will see some of you at small group today at 10:30, and I will see the rest of you for circle time on Wednesday, right? And small group at 10:30 on Wednesday. All right? Bye, everyone. Have a great day.